program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
By tomorrow, I will rule the world!
You think he's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone!
Is this some radical new therapy?
You see?
Well, I must have not been paying attention.
It's all my fault.
The future Mrs. Duggan is making me sad.
Why?
Because she's not going to come with us to Brando's after.
You gotta try that food.
Right?
Oh, okay.
This whole show has just been an abortion from like the beginning.
It's my fault. You can put it
From the minute I got out of bed today, I just knew I should have just rolled over, gone right back to sleep.
You can put the blame on me.
We've got some great material today, though. That's the only reason why I actually got out of bed is A, I knew the future Mrs. Duggan was going to join us.
Exactly.
But also, I knew that the material that we have today is going to make everybody happy. You're going to learn something today. Melvin Taylor played. Is she talking? Did you say something there, Melvin? Yeah. All of a sudden, she gets so quiet. She's so shy. I'm not used to being around shy women. I got to be honest with you. It's kind of sexy.
Yeah? What do you mean you're not used to shy women? Yes,
I'm not used to hanging around with shy women. Most of the women around me are
frisky.
Well, they're not shy.
Okay. Outspoken. Strong. Feminist.
Friendly.
Strong. Feminism.
Bouncy. Friendly.
Bubbly. All right.
Starring you. I didn't hear any ba-ba-bas out of the future.
She did it in her head.
All right, okay. I had dinner last night with my future sister-in-law, Wanda Santos.
Wanda Santos.
And boy, did she have some great stories.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about that shortly. All right, maybe we should get to my sponsors. Yeah. You guys gonna see Intro go dancing in a chair, bouncing around. When I say bouncing, I really do mean bouncing.
This doesn't have the music. It doesn't have the music.
Very good. Very good. And you're supposed to have the David things like on the four corners.
Oh, you want it on the four corners?
I'm going to get you a picture of him too.
Okay, yeah, so I can do his face.
Yeah, the face like
that.
John Drew did.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this show on the road. What do you think? Hi, how you guys doing? My name's Tom Duggan here with the Paying Attention Podcast, high atop the Golden Seal Apothecary, on down in the NCAM offices. Can we just start over again? Like I knew before we even started.
Welcome everyone.
It was just,
so that's it.
In the NCAM studios, downtown North Andover, right across the street from the plush and luxurious Valley Patriot offices. Interesting show for you today. Let's just get to our sponsors. We got a lot to get to. Century 21, McLennan Real Estate. Now that the election's over, we're going to have Matt either Zoom in or come in and talk about real estate. I think it's always interesting to hear from the real estate people. I'm a little loud. If you could just bounce me just down just a hair. It's always good to have real estate people come on, especially an expert like Matt, and talk about the future, the next 3 months, the next quarter, what the real estate market's doing, where we're headed, where we've been. I notice in the Valley Patriot, we publish the home sales for Lawrence, Methuen, Andover, North Andover every month. And I used to publish 3.5 pages of home sales.
Okay.
Even at like a 9-point font, it was still 3.5 pages. And now we're at maybe a page and a half, and sometimes just a page. Mm-hmm. So the real estate market we know has slowed down. We know that, I don't know that I would say that there's a bubble coming because I think it's slowing. I think it's slowing down at a good pace. And we want to talk about how the interest rates, affect
is it a buyer
that
market? Is it a seller market?
And you know what? The more Donald Trump deports or exports illegal aliens back to the country that they came from, where they belong, the home prices start coming down. Right, because you have less of a demand. So by the Biden administration throwing the borders open and importing 50 million people who need a place to live, you drive up the price of homes. And by the way, I would argue one of the reasons they did that, besides stealing elections, which we're going to do a whole show on at some point, is that all of these hedge funds are buying residential property all over the country, and they need to artificially inflate the cost, the value of those homes, so they can turn a big profit and flip them.
Okay.
And when you have a higher demand, obviously the price goes up. So you're noticing that as Donald Trump is deporting all the criminals, and the number of people in America starts going down, the demand for housing also starts going down, which means the price of homes and price of apartments is also starting to go down. So we want to have Matt come in and talk a little about that. Maybe we'll get lucky. He'll bring some other people from Century 21 McLennan Real Estate.
He's going to bring some coffee?
Yeah, he should bring coffee. He should bring us dinner.
Nice.
That's what he should do. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Brando's, our new advertiser, Brando's Billy Griffin. Do we have a video of Brando's today?
Do we have? Second.
We've got something. Billy was such a great guest last week. I had him and Dave Idkinsoli here. And by the way, Dave Idkinsoli texted me this morning. Apparently, thanks to this program, thanks to the Paying Attention podcast, DJ Beauregard reached out to him. And they're going to have a meeting with all of the business owners over on his street, where Pleasant Valley Landscaping Contractors is. And it's interesting that DJ watches my show and texts David Consoli, but still isn't texting me anymore now. So, it's one of those things where...
He doesn't text you anymore?
No, now he just... Because I came on the show and I said, he has no problem texting me over silly things, and we chat online, but then as soon as it's something serious, he goes to me. So now he doesn't even do that, right? So now he's just going to keep doubling down in the wrong direction. This guy can't make a good decision to save his life. Every time you give him the opportunity to do the right thing or the wrong thing, and you go, okay, you have hope. You go, maybe this time he's going to do the right. Like maybe just by accident he's going to do it right this time. And you can't screw up. You can't accidentally screw up that often in a row like DJ has. And everyone around me is telling me, stop having faith in this guy. He screwed Patricia. He screwed Yanilda. He screwed people throughout the whole election. He screwed you on your own show, Tom. He came on and accused you of attacking Laurie Keegan's son/daughter in your newspaper, and then never retracted it and never called out the people who lied to him about it, because obviously he didn't read the story. He just went by what people were telling him. And I don't know why, but I keep saying, you know what it is? I always like to give people enough rope, and I always like to give people more chances than they deserve, so that when I finally had enough of their shit and I finally start dropping nuclear bombs, no one can say I went too far. Everyone says, whenever, like with Debo Brown, how many chances did I give Debo Brown? How many times did I shake that guy's hand? How many times did I give him wiggle room to walk away? And he just kept coming back and kept coming back. So when I destroyed his life and Kelly's life, not one person came to me and said, Tom, that was too harsh, right? Nobody came to me and said, hey, Tom, you went a little overboard with that one. Maybe you shouldn't have destroyed their entire life and made them unemployable. No, everyone came to me and said, you know what, you should have done that 5 fucking years ago. Like, why did you give them so much leeway? Why did you let them get away with so much? And so one of the reasons why, especially with DJ, is I give people more rope and more rope and more rope and more rope is because, A, I keep hoping that this is the time they're going to change and they're going to keep their word and man up and do what they're supposed to do. The other half of me does it because if I have to start dropping nuclear bombs, no one's going to think I'm the bad guy. Everyone's going to be like, Jesus Christ, Tom, you should have done that like 2 fucking years ago. Like, why didn't you do that already? So anyways, you don't have that, do you?
It's not going to play while you're...
It's not playing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, maybe we can get it for the end of the show. Maybe
we can do that.
Can we figure that out?
Yeah,
All right.
we'll do that.
So we do have some breaking news. I got to finish reading the sponsors. Brando, the Zanny Pesh Law Office, On the Go Notary, a free show to the Hungry Traveler. I believe they're coming on board with an ad package. The Hungry Traveler, thanks to Karina Papalato, who actually does return phone calls because she's a real friend.
Karina. So
Marston and Son, what's that, honey?
She's so pretty.
Karina?
Yeah.
I guess. Marston and Son Construction, EIS. I know that was just like...
That was mean.
I know.
That was not
But
nice,
I figure
Tom.
but her ego's so inflated, I figure she could use a little deflation, right? From a friend.
No.
Because everybody knows that I love her, so she's not going to take it personal. Or, I mean, she's just crying over here.
Yeah,
She's
it's
all
not
upset.
very nice. Tom, apologize.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Don't get me going on the apologies. I have a 20-minute rant I could do on that. I had to make a big apology this week, and I stood in front of a group of people to apologize for something because I fucked up. And what I got from the crowd that I was talking to was, that's not good enough.
Really?
We don't believe you. You're a bad person.
Why you even bother?
I wondered, walking out, I wondered the same thing. Like, why did I even bother? Anyways, Hungry Soul, Mars State Inside Construction, EIS, Investigation and Gun Training. Thanks for coming, kids. Good night. That's it. That's the end of the show. Tomo and Shaken Seafood. If you go to Tomo, you can get the hibachi. Fine. Everybody gets the hibachi. I hate that they do the whole show. But if you like sushi, especially if you like cooked sushi, you got to get the Kamikaze is amazing, and the Godzilla also amazing. I'm not a big fan of the American or the Americana. My friend Kevin Druin loves it. It's okay. It's not as good as the Kamikaze and the Godzilla.
Kevin Druin's the one that writes for the paper, right?
No, he's the guy. He used to be involved with TMF.
Okay.
The guy with the white hair.
Yep.
A little loud.
Okay, yes. I know
Good guy. He's just loud.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're talking about.
Tomo Shik, Clear Path for Veterans New England, AFC, Urgent Care, Zaka and his wife, and myself, and Mama G from TMF, all went to Jason's Korean Barbecue in South Lawrence next to Jay Bryan's. By the way, Jay Bryan's got some great food. I don't go there enough. I need to go there more.
The wings?
The food there is great. The steak tips are great. But we went to Jason's Barbecue. This is our second time going. I can't say enough. They're not an advertiser, but I can't. I'm a big food guy because I'm fat now. I cannot say enough about the Korean barbecue, Jason's Korean Barbecue, to the point where I really kind of want to make it like a once a week thing. I want us all to do a flash mob, how we did at Terramar. We got to go back to Terramar because that was pretty good. But I also want to do a flash mob at Jason's Barbecue. And today we're doing a mini flash mob if anybody wants to join us at Brando's in Haverhill. After the show, we're going to Brando's in Haverhill.
So I went to Terramal a few weeks ago on a date. On a date to Terramal.
Wait a minute, you went on a date and you didn't tell me?
Yeah, I went on a date. And when I went there, it was...
Aren't I supposed to approve these things?
Yeah, you are. I know. You look people up and stuff. You let me know, hey, this guy has like a criminal record and stuff. But anyways, I'm not talking to him anymore. And I walked in and there was a bunch of like older white guys. Sorry, no pun intended. But and I was like, this is because of Tom.
Thanks, appreciate that. Where'd we leave off? Pleasant Valley Landscaping Contractors, Prime Insurance, the Doug Mercurial Office, W3ON, and back in rotation, Total Mortgage. And what a nightmare that was for her. I feel so bad for her. You know,
figure it out though.
Sometimes people do business with me and it costs them because they're not prepared for the hate brigade that's out there. There's a group of people out there just in the waiting to pounce on anybody new in my life and make their life miserable for being associated with me. And I don't think she was prepared for that. And there were some people in her industry, like not like random people and not like the Kelsey Shabilias of the world, but people in like the mortgage industry and the real estate industry that were like hating on her publicly, like on Facebook, because she was associated with me. And I felt bad because I should have warned her. Like if you tell someone up front, listen, I got haters out there, and you never know where they're going to come from. But because I take a stand on things, because I fight for things, because I give a voice to people that have no voice and have been silenced, the people who are vested, like the school Nazis in Methuen, the people that are vested in silencing those people and silencing their message, hate on me even worse because I'm the one giving them a platform. I'm the one defending them and giving them a voice. And if I warn people in advance, like I warned Zaka at AFC Urgent Care, and I warned who else? We just brought somebody on board recently that I warned, and they were like, well, I'm glad you warned me because my first day I started getting phone calls. But if I warn people in advance, usually it's okay. But if I don't, I think it's the shock of people getting reached out to or somebody commenting when they're at like, Market Basket at the deli counter. Someone comes over and goes, oh, you're the one advertising with that Duggan guy.
Yeah.
Like the vitriol is just like, they just ooze hatred, right? So,
with that Duggan guy. I'm so sorry, John Savastano. I actually really love old white guy, so don't feel bad.
Well, he was one of the people there, so right, no white guy. All right. So, anyways, a couple of quick things to get to. I've got some breaking news, so let's pull this up. I don't think you've heard it anywhere unless you've seen it on Facebook. But this guy, we don't know who he is. He actually looks like somebody I think I might know, but I don't want to say it out loud because if it's not him, then it's a problem. This guy wandered onto somehow. He got on a Methuen school bus this morning and sat with children all the way to Methuen High School. And the bus driver allowed him to get on and allowed him to sit there. He could have molested kids. He could have raped a girl. Could have raped a boy. He could have had a gun and gotten off the bus and shot up the school. He could have shot up the bus. He could have had a gun on him and shot up the bus. And nobody stopped this guy. This picture was taken by a girl that was on the school bus who was sitting next to him. He came and he sat next to her, and she was so freaked out, she took a picture, she posted it online, and so I think obviously the police are going to have to be doing a big investigation on that. And the parents that I talked to right before the show, which is one of the reasons why we're late, is my phone just been blowing up. Some of the parents that I've talked to, they want the head of the bus driver. And I'm on the phone with them because you don't know who the bus driver is. You don't know what his circumstance is. This guy
You don't know if they're telling him to do that. And
well, you don't know. Like, is this a bus employee that you just don't know, right? So I always want to refrain from calling for someone to be fired from their job before you kind of have all the facts, or at least unless you have a picture of what really kind of went down. And then you can kind of get a flavor for what direction you should go in. But if this is what we think it is, then certainly the bus company needs to be held accountable. And if this is not like a bus employee just getting a ride, maybe he left his car at the school and whatever, I don't know. But if this is just a pervy guy that got on the bus to be with kids.
Does he have a Corey? Have they checked his background? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or was he just getting a ride?
And, of course, a statement was issued by Methuen schools that children's safeties are paramount importance. It's our number one priority. No, it's not. It's not your number one priority. You want boys to go into girls' fucking bathrooms. Their safety is not your number one priority. Perverting children is your number one priority. Teaching them to read isn't even your number one priority. So please stop with the bullshit that you send home to parents. I have a lot of friends that live in Methuen that say that they get these notices. Their children's safety is our number one priority. Please just stop lying about that. Because if it was, you wouldn't have people 20 deep at public participation defending porn in the classroom. While they sit silent about the fact that kids are being failed by the school system. So can we just stop doing that? Okay, we can pull that down. What else do we have? Real quick, I don't know if we lost the future Mrs. Duggan, but I was kind of enjoying looking at her while I was doing the show.
I can smell her from here.
Oh, she's still here. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can still smell her scent.
All right. Okay, she stepped out of the room on her phone. So TMF last night. 2 nights ago, TMF, the Movement Family, it's the organization that I am involved with. I don't really do a whole lot of work, though, so please don't thank me. I'm not looking for anything. But I'm affiliated with this organization called the Movement Family, TMF. They feed the homeless on Wednesday nights. They also go out 2 or 3 times a week and do wellness checks throughout the year, not just when it's cold, in the summer, in the fall, whatever. Bringing people blankets and sternos and food and bottles of water and whatever they need, socks, hand warmers. Since the city of Lawrence and the city council voted at the beginning of winter to have a no-tent ordinance for homeless people in the city, the forecast of a 4-degree or less than 0-degree weather over the next few days has a lot of homeless people very, very frightened because the city is going to take their tents. And this is why the tent ordinance was bad, and this is why the city council should have talked to homeless advocates before making the friggin' decisions.
No research.
No, they don't give a shit. What they care about is the headline. And I'm going to say this broadly about all of them, but obviously there's exceptions to the rule. But as a body, they care more about the headline than they care about accomplishing something. Because if they cared more about accomplishing something and doing it right, they would have met with the people who are the stakeholders. They would have met with Carrie at House of Mercy. They would have met with Mike Gorman at TMF. They would have met with Lazarus House. They would have talked to the stakeholders, talked to people that run Core Unum, even though they're totally impossible to deal with. Sit down with them anyway. and find out from them what their thoughts are and how this is going to work before you make your decision. Because now we're at the beginning of the winter. You've got a no tent ordinance in Lawrence, so they can't put up tents. And why is the tent important? It's people emailing me after the last show. How warm can they be in a tent? Right? If it's 2 below zero, how warm can somebody be in just a tent, right? It's still going to be cold. Wrong. We give them sternos, and those sternos can heat that tent to a toasty 80 degrees at night and keep it for 8 hours. As long as it's burning, it can keep. So they can sleep. They can cook food on it. If somebody drops off, we do drop-offs with food. They can cook. Obviously, it's not ideal, right? It's not a stove, but it's something. And and I didn't share the show. I'm sorry. So the city has once again they've screwed up, and they passed this tent ordinance.
They did no research to pass this.
No, they didn't. They listened to what the chief told them because he's the chief. And in Lawrence, the elected officials have this hero worship thing where, not all of them again, but in generally speaking, if they tend to like you, and they obviously tend to like this particular chief because he's new, so there's a honeymoon phase, right? They just voted for him. So they want to give him whatever he wants, and they want him to like them because when they pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got a problem in my neighborhood, they want to be able to get the chief and feel important and then have the chief send somebody out right away so they can show all of their neighbors how they get things done, right?
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that the chief likes them, so they're going to do whatever the chief wants them to do.
So they're not doing it for the best of
so
those
they're
people.
not doing it for the homeless. They're not doing it for the people that are affected by the homeless. They're not doing it because of crime. They're doing it for the headline to make it look like they're doing something. And I'm sorry to say this because I endorsed every single person sitting there right now. There's a couple people I didn't endorse that are coming on board because I didn't endorse anybody in their race. But every single person sitting there right now, including the one sitting in jail, I endorsed all of them. I was 9 for 9 2 years ago. And it pains me to say it. It gives me no pleasure to say it. But now what's going on is with the drop in temperatures coming in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, the city of Lawrence does not have a warming shelter. And
the winter street only holds what, 44?
Daybreak legally holds 44. They let 55 in every night.
Yeah.
And Daybreak, I know that they're going through a lot of turmoil. A lot of it is self-inflicted. I know they're going through a lot of problems over there, but they are doing the work of the angels.
Yeah.
Like despite the people that are actually running the show, Daybreak is doing the work of the angels. They're taking in 55 people a night. They're getting reimbursed for 44 people by the state. They're eating the difference, and they're providing people food. They're providing people a place to take a shower and a place to wash their clothes, dry their clothes, and have a place to stay at night. Now they throw them out at like 7 o'clock in the morning, which is causing problems in people's neighborhoods. But at least they're doing something. The city of Lawrence is providing no warming shelter for the next couple of days. And when Carrie at House of Mercy, God love her, let me tell you, if there's a heaven, she's going there. She approached the city to open up House of Mercy to just let them stay there for the night because they have the facilities. And they also have showers. And they also have washing machines and dryers and all that stuff. And the city came in and they started.
What do they do?
I'm trying to not be vulgar, right? Because this pisses me off. They're nickel and diming the issue. You need to have a permit for this and a permit. Like they put so many roadblocks in the way so that you can't help people. And this she's back.
Yay!
Now we can finish the show.
I know you were like nervous.
And her hair almost looks red now. It looks awesome. If you could just hit that door for me, it would be great. Look at the red hair though. Oh my goodness. I think I'm in love. Wow. She's coming with us to Brando's. All right, what was I talking about now? What happened?
About the city going into Daybreak.
If you want to come sit with me, you can. We're going to talk about school stuff, though. Yeah, baby. There she is. Dwayne was gonna kiss. What the hell was that? I'm calling off the wedding. That's it. I'm going to kiss. I don't get anything. Cheek to cheek? I've broken up with women for that. I've ghosted women for that. I get the cheek on that one. Jesus Christ, I can't win.
There she is, Miss
future
Yanilda
Mrs. Duggan.
Santos. My city council. She's actually my city council.
Is she really? Yanilda
Yes.
Santos.
Yes, she is. Central District.
So where were we? So we were talking about the homeless. We were talking about House of Mercy. And so now, here's the thing. Over the next couple of days, if they don't open at least one, maybe two warming shelters, someone's going to die. And someone's going to die of frostbite or hypothermia. And here's what's going to happen. Then it's going to get really unpleasant for everybody. Because friend or foe, I'm friends with all these city councilors in Lawrence. It's not going to matter. I'm trying really hard to work with the chief. That's also going to be out the window. I'm going to show up at a meeting. I'm going to put it right at their faces by name. And I'm going to come on this show and play video clips of them voting for no tent ordinance and virtue signaling while they're doing it. And the biggest disappointment, it's one of the reasons why I did not endorse her in this last election, is Wendy Luzon. The woman who campaigns that Trump is evil and Democrats are good and Democrats are perfect and Democrats care about people and Republicans are cold and heartless, voted for a fucking no-tent ordinance in the city of Lawrence with, by the way, no place for people to go. She likes to ask questions to embarrass the mayor for 4 hours, but she never once asked the question, well, if we have a no-tent ordinance and you bulldoze their tents, where do these people go? Like, are we providing shelter for them? That question was never asked because, well, we get the headline if we vote for the no-tent ordinance and we ask a question about Brian that's controversial and make it like homelessness
Wasn't Brian on vacation during that anyways?
Yeah, and like she tries to make it like homelessness is like Brian's fault. Like Alta Garcia Maggi, right? Homelessness is Brian's fault. Everything's Brian's fault. She's still crying. I saw Maggi today on Facebook still crying about Brian DePina.
They're trying to get signatures to take him out.
Yeah, they want to. We just had an election, so just knock it off. So I guess my point is that if someone dies in the next few days, even if House of Mercy opens, but they don't have another warming shelter to handle the overflow, it's going to be squarely on the chief. It's going to be squarely on the city councilors. And yes, the mayor does bear some responsibility for that too, even though he's my friend. They all bear responsibility. Listen, you can't have a Democrat Party-run city where every single elected official except for one, Mark LaPlante, every other elected official in the entire city, all your state reps, all your state senators, both your congressmen, both your U.S. senators, your entire city council, your entire school committee, and your mayor, all Democrats. Running for election saying we care about the poor. Yeah, Democrats. Saying
Some
that
of them
they
are not.
care about the poor and that Republicans are evil and Donald Trump's evil, and then turn around and kick homeless people out of tents in the winter. So this is your warning. You guys in Lawrence need to get your act together because it's been a while since you've seen Tom Duggan angry. You can ask people in Methuen what that looks like because they've seen it recently. But it's been a while since Lawrence officials have seen Tom Duggan angry. Somebody dies of hypothermia in the next 48 hours. You're going to see me at the next council meeting, and I'm going to be calling people up by name. I'm going to be playing clips on this show. Yes, intern girl.
No, I just have a question. What would be the solution to this? How many homelessness do we have? Like, how many homeless?
Total in Lawrence, I'd say about 300.
300.
Maybe,
what would be,
maybe 250.
What would be your solution?
I've given this solution to every fucking city councilor and the mayor and Octavian and Andrea, everyone in the mayor's office, everyone in DPW and the police department. There is a solution. You have 400 plus abandoned properties in the city of Lawrence that the city owns that they've taken in tax title. You have to pay heat in those buildings because if you don't, the pipes burst and then the fire department has to go and take care of it. So if you have, think about this, you have people sleeping in tents in sub-zero temperatures while there are empty heated buildings in the city of Lawrence. You can't take one of those buildings and deed it over to Daybreak, deed it over to TMF, deed it over to House of Mercy, and provide the heat and the housing temporarily, even if just temporarily, for the people that are out in sub-zero temperatures? You can't do that? No, you know why you can't do that? Because you're too busy trying to get Brian DePina because he put a comma in the wrong place in the budget. And, he's responsible for, there's properties that went to somebody's babysitter's mailman's third cousin, so it's a corruption. Like, it's all the inside petty bullshit. And what they're not doing is their job, right? I still don't have my public records from last December.
What's the process on
that?
that?
A year ago next week, and I'm still waiting. I'm in, like, my 7th appeal. Right. So Diana DiZoglio has picked up the mantle on this, and she's now pushing for reforms to the state's public records law.
Okay.
And so we're working together on that, and hopefully we're going to be, because I got her helping, hopefully that's going to happen. But Lawrence, better get your act together. You can't, as a Democrat city, say you care about the poor at election time and then bulldoze people's tents when it's zero or below zero temperatures. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? And
Methuen should also do the same. I'm pretty sure they're homelessness in Methuen.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Sleep at the park near my house.
Yep. And Methuen offers nothing for those people.
Nothing.
At least Lawrence has something to offer. But Lawrence has nothing, which is why a lot of those people end up in Lawrence. Which I understand the chief's frustration. I understand the mayor's frustration. That if you offer services, more of them will show up. Not in large numbers, but more will come. But you can't use that as an excuse to starve people. People are hungry right now. People are cold right now. And you can't have meetings about how you're going to solve homelessness because you're not going to solve it. So these people better get off their ass, and they better provide some shelter for these people. And the Grants Pass Supreme Court decision very clearly spelled out that you cannot have a no-tent ordinance unless you have shelter to provide for these people. And so the city council has passed.
Do they know that?
Well, they should know that because the chief got up at the meeting and said the name of the Supreme Court is the Grants Pass decision. And if they did any homework at all, which is what they're supposed to do if you're a city councilor.
No research.
They do no research. And they just went online and read the summaries of the Supreme Court. It says in the first paragraph that the Supreme Court said very clearly that California or whatever state it was, Grants Pass, Michigan maybe, whatever state it was, they could bulldoze the tents as long as there was someplace for them to go. If there's not someplace for them to go, you can't do it. But these people were, again, more interested in the headline than solving a problem. So, anyways.
We have David Consoli. He said...
David Consoli?
He said, Carlota, sorry we missed you for the lightning round last week.
Yes. We missed.
Everything's turning on me now.
Yep, it's all on you now.
Because I used to say, we missed you at the bash.
Yep. So I do have some stuff. Let's say hi to our guest first, because I want to talk about the schools. Look how cute she is. So fucking adorable. It's ridiculous.
Hi, Jane.
Hello.
No, not Jane. That's June, right?
It's
Yeah,
Jenny.
June.
You need to put her microphone on. She's saying
Oh,
hello.
she's not talking?
Yeah, stop working
June
on
is
your
saying
phone.
hi. No, it's June.
She's on her phone like,
I didn't realize that was June.
Oh, I'm going to buy a car. What is that?
No,
Chevy?
reading the messages.
Oh, dear boyfriend, I love you so much. I didn't tell Tom about you yet.
I don't have a boyfriend.
No.
I'm lonely.
So there's the future Mrs. Duggan. So so I had dinner with last night my future sister-in-law, Yanilda Santos. Most people don't know you guys are sisters-in-law.
Sister-in-law, yeah. She's my brother's wife.
Okay, let me see. Your brother's wife.
My brother's wife, yes.
So, all right, so I met her husband. So that's your brother.
That's my brother.
Okay, all right, very good. He's very high-strung.
Yes.
So he came over to me one day, and I didn't remember who he was. Mm-hmm. My fault, not his. And he came over, and he's like, hey, buddy, I didn't see you at Yanilda's, he called you Jenny, I think.
Jenny.
Fundraiser. And that was the night of the Isaiah 58 thing in New Hampshire. I couldn't make it. And, like, he started talking to me like we were lifelong friends. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
brother.
Like, who is this guy? I have no idea who he is.
I can't
And so
believe
I'm
my
leaning
name.
over to the person next to me going, who's this guy? Who is this guy? And he's like, so, how's the paper? How's everything doing, buddy? How you doing? Like, he's so friendly. Like,
Yeah.
I thought he wanted to gay marry me at one point, and I was like,
Might as well, right?
I have no idea who this guy is, but he seems friendly enough.
You want to be part of the Santos family?
I know,
had to
you
make
might
sure-
as well.
I had to make sure my gun was ready. I'm like, just in case. Because maybe he's stalking me. You know, I do have stalkers out there. And they're not all women either.
Okay.
I got her in hysterics now. So this is why we're going to get married, because I just make her laugh. That's all I do is make her laugh. So by the way, everybody home, this is newly elected. She's going to be taking office in January. Central District Councilor
Yes.
Yanilda Santos,
Yanilda Santos.
who should have come in first, but we know there was a lot of political trickery going on. And the mayor did endorse you. That was very disappointing, even though we had an
okay.
agreement again.
Yes. It's okay.
DJ, he's going to come around. I know everybody thinks I'm crazy,
Yes,
but he's
you
going to come
know,
around.
he's a good person.
Well, let's not get crazy now. Let's not be silly. We're just hoping he comes around. We're not going to be making any moral judgments until that happens. I'm still waiting for him to apologize for accusing me of attacking Laurie Keegan's son/daughter.
Oh, when he was
trans.
here?
Yeah. He's like,
You're a bully.
You're going to have to go through me if you're going to attack trans kids. And I had to keep getting like, what do you mean? What does that mean? Like I had to drag on, because these politicians who are polished or want to be polished, they all want to say it without saying it so they can have deniability later on. So I always have to like drag it out of them and get them to actually say what they're saying so they can't deny it later on. Mm-hmm. And when it all came down to it, he was like, well, you wrote a column and you attacked her child. So after the show, I sent him a link to the actual column and said, please show me where I attacked her child. Oh, he goes, well, do you want a retraction, like a public retraction? And I should have said yes. I should have said yes because he should have done the retraction anyway. But I said, no, you know what I'd really want? You didn't read the story. And you came on my show and you attacked me for something someone told you was in my story without looking it up yourself. So what I want you to do is I want you to treat those people the way you were treating me. I want you to be as eager to call them out publicly for lying to you the way you were calling me out for what you thought I did wrong. Now he doesn't take my text messages anymore.
Well, now they got the Methuen 300 or something like that?
Oh, yeah, now they have the little anti-Tom Duggan group. We're going to get to that in a second. But I want to talk to future Mrs. Duggan because you do look you have to come with us to Brando's. You have to.
She has something to do.
I have something to do tonight.
All right, well, then why don't we cancel Brando's and just go with her? Because we need to be with you.
How are you, Tom?
I'm doing good now.
I haven't seen you since forever.
I know. Well, we need to go shooting. I'm going to take you up to Hudson.
Yes.
So
we should. Intergirl?
Yes,
Intergirl needs to come too. So, and Kristen wants to come. So I don't know if I can have three of you in there at once, but I'll try.
That'd be nice. The three of us, the three musketeers.
Oh, yes.
So the paper comes out Tuesday. So I can't do it this weekend, but can you do it during the week? Like if I want to do like a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, like dinner time.
Yeah, Thursday night will work for me.
All right, okay.
Better. Yeah.
So we'll see if we can get Kristen on board with that.
Yeah,
and
sure.
We'll do that, and then we'll all go out to eat stuff afterwards. We'll make a little group project about it. But you got to come with us to Brando's today, though.
Let me see. At least for 5-10 minutes, I can make
Okay. All right. So you're looking forward to taking office in January.
Yes.
What are your plans to hit the ground running? What are the things that you're going to try and get done first?
Well, first, I have to say thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here.
Inviting you. It's like an open invite. You come
anytime you want.
I don't care if I'm mid-sentence. You want to come in and be on the show. You're here.
I just want to say thank you to all the voters that went out and voted for me and supported me and believed in me on the election day. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for your support. You guys are amazing. I have to say.
Me? No, I'm not amazing. There's nothing amazing about me.
Yes.
I'm a bully. Just ask.
No, you want to sell yourself that way. You want to sell yourself in a bad way, and you really are a good person.
Yeah, but just ask Kelsey Shabili. I'm a bully. I'm a bully because I bully bullies. I'm the guy in the schoolyard that's kicking the bully's ass because he's bullying other people. And they're just mad that I'm stopping them from getting away with their perverted agenda. With their perverted grooming agenda.
You are great. You're amazing. Keep going, Yanilda.
So, and going back to your questions, there's so many things, Tom, that we need to work on in Methuen as you know.
You see why I'm in love with her? Can you see? Can you guys at home see? Like,
can you focus on what she's saying?
I can't hear a word she's saying. I'm listening to the way she's saying it. I'm sorry. It's just true. All right, I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yanilda. Sorry. Can you put your microphone closer, please?
Sure. So there's so many issues that we need to tackle once, I start working. We have to work on school. We have to repave streets. We have to work with so many other issues, making Methuen beautiful again, attractive to new buyers. Try to help small businesses to grow, open new businesses. So there's a lot that we have to work on. And obviously, I'm looking forward to work with the rest of the councils to come up with solutions and, not focus on the problems, but focus more on the solutions better than, spending our time and our money on focusing on the problem. So that's basically my goal.
Did you see this week's meeting? Were you there or did you watch it on?
I watched it on Zoom. Yeah.
Because nobody was there. So one of the things that I get pissed off by little things, right? It's like little pet peeves. So I guess the elevator in City Hall is not working.
It's not working.
So instead of just letting the people who are disabled, like me or Ken Willett, zoom in because we can't get there because the elevator is not working, everybody decided we're going to use this as an excuse not to go to work today, and everybody decided to zoom in, which is ridiculous because the only people who need to really zoom in are the people that want to talk at the meeting who might be disabled. The rest of us can watch it online. Like, there's no need for everyone to stay home, but that's what they did. Everybody stayed home because it's just another excuse not to work today. And I noticed that, and we have the clip at public participation. But before we do, I just want to give you a chance to say anything that you want to say before we move on.
I
love you, Tommy. Yes, Tommy, I love you so much. You are the man. You are the man of my dreams. No, all right. That's fine.
Tom.
That's fine. See how you are?
Oh my God, Tom. You are so... Okay.
Thanks for coming, kids. All right.
Thank you for having me here.
So let me get to. So where are we here? So on the agenda. So you saw Nelly Soto get up at the school committee meeting and speak.
Yes,
Did you see that? So I'm going to
I
play
saw
that
that.
for us. So for those of you at home, there's no way I can even do a show now because now the future Mrs. Duggan is here. I'm just completely distracted. But we're going to try and get serious if we can.
Please.
So it was very interesting. Last week, Methuen City Councilor Nelly Soto decided to call out Laurie Keegan for violating a number of policies and laws when she sent a letter to the city council basically blaming them for the failures of the schools. And she did it in a way that made it seem as though it was coming from the committee, but the committee had not voted to do so. There was never a public discussion about this. Just on her own as the vice chair, which is like a made-up position, and it doesn't really exist, the vice chair of the school committee, who I guess is just supposed to chair the meeting when the mayor is not there. But she has no power outside of the school committee meeting room. She has no power as vice chair once the meeting is over, once everything's been... So she's been doing things like sending letters to the superintendent about Kristen Maxwell and demanding meetings with them, even though she's the vice chair of the school committee with no power. She also sent a letter to the city council blaming them for the failures of the schools. And I thought maybe we'd go into that a little bit because we have some really good audio and some really good video of what happened in Methuen this week. And by the way, this is the kind of crap you're going to have to deal with once you take office in January. So it's good that you're here to see what's going on here. So let's start with, this is Nelly Soto, the city councilor in Methuen, speaking at the school committee meeting. At the school committee meeting about the letter that she received and the failures of the schools. And we're going to talk about this once we finish playing this.
And the comments I make are my own views and not those of the Methuen City Council as a whole. Nelly Soto, 71 Comment Road, Methuen, Mass. I am here tonight because this morning, every member of the City Council received an email from the Vice Chair of this committee alleging that the City Solicitor has caused delays in curriculum materials, digital textbook access, supplemental reading materials, and the school solar contract. The email requests that the Council intervene, direct the solicitor, provide additional support resources, and establish a joint task force. It also claims that the students lost instructional time and warns of potentially losing millions of dollars. Before these allegations are treated as fact or repeated publicly, it is important that we clarify what led to this email and whether it reflects the position of the entire committee. So I have some questions
Which it doesn't.
for you all today. I want to know if was the full school committee aware of the email that was sent?
No.
And was it being sent, that was sent to the council? Was this communication the position of one committee member
Yes.
or of the entire school committee?
No.
If it was not discussed or voted on, why was it sent in a way that implies it reflects the stance of this entire body? Why did the email omit the well-documented delays in curriculum training, teacher preparation, and implementation, which were the true causes of instructional disruption? What responsibility does this body accept for those internal curriculum delays? Why is the City Council being asked to intervene when this committee already employs two attorneys specifically dedicated to school affairs? Why is this body attempting to shift operational responsibilities to the City Council when state law clearly places the responsibility on this committee? What internal accountability measures have been initiated since July 1st regarding the curriculum rollout failures? What is the corrective plan and timeline to prevent these delays from occurring in 2026?
Great questions.
Why is this body still dealing with systemic failures as we've seen in the conditions of our schools that date back 20 years while attempting to shift blame outward instead of addressing the core internal issues? So for the record, our teachers deserve stability, our students deserve consistency, our community deserves accountability. The City Council does not manage school operation, this committee does.
Right.
In curriculum implementation, teacher readiness, training schedules, and instructional timelines fall under this committee's oversight. At this point, if the district continues to experience repeated long-term operational failures over years and even decades, then we must begin to ask ourselves the question and openly and honestly discuss: is receivership the only remaining path to protect our students, our educators, and taxpayers?
Wow.
Methuen cannot withstand another 20 years of dysfunction.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching this in my office, and I'm out loud going, wow, like to myself. Because not only was everything she said 100% true, but I think she's finally I think she's the first elected official to finally say what we've been saying on this show now for at least the last 2 years. And that is, if Lawrence is in receivership and Lawrence's numbers are better than Methuen, we just said this, like 3 weeks ago, right? Why isn't Methuen in receivership instead of just Lawrence? And I think we all know the answer to that is because the kids in Lawrence are brown. And if the majority of the kids in Methuen are brown, they'd already be in receivership. But because they're white, they're not in receivership. And she brought up a couple of really good points here. She talked about the solar contracts and the other contracts that Dan Shabilia, who's just a puppet for Brandy Kwong, and his wife, who's, let's be honest, she's really the school board member. And the other two puppets for Brandy Kwong, Mary Beth and Laurie Keegan, who are really just there to help the administration get away with whatever they want to do. They've done nothing. They've done nothing. They've done nothing to help student achievement. They've done nothing to stop the fact that 73% of the kids in Methuen cannot read at grade level. 73%. Cannot read at grade level. I want to make sure you guys, because I talk fast, I want to make sure you guys got that. 73%. If you had a car manufacturing company and 73% of the cars coming off that line could not drive, you would be out of a job and you'd probably be in jail for fraud. But we keep pumping millions, if not billions of dollars over the last few decades into Methuen public schools to have repeated failures over and over and over and over. And Laurie Keegan has the fucking nerve to send a letter to the city council and blame them for your failure? You're going to blame the city council because you're misspending money? You're going to blame the city council because you can't educate kids at a rate of 73%? While you're pushing porn in the classroom? While you're talking about masturbation and anal sex in the classroom? While you're letting boys go into girls' bathrooms, pretending you have transgender bathrooms when you really don't? Because you're counting teacher bathrooms as transgender bathrooms, but the kids can't use them? You're lying to the public, you're lying to the public, you're lying to the public every step of the way. And then you had the nerve to send a letter thinking nobody would notice. But let me tell you, God bless Nellie Soto. Because she noticed, and she didn't just notice and then like the rest of the council shrug her shoulders and go, oh, well. No, she took it right to you guys. She went right to a school committee meeting, went right to the Lions Den and said, hold on a minute. This is your failure, not ours. And by the way, why was Laurie Keegan sending a letter to the city council, making it look like her letter was on behalf of the entire school committee?
Is that an open meetings thing?
Well,
it depends, right?
If she met privately or communicated privately with the other school board members before she sent that, that's a violation of the open meeting law. We have no evidence that that happened. But we have no reason to believe it didn't happen given how many times they violated all these laws. They don't seem to really give a shit about any of these laws. Like, she actually demanded a meeting with the superintendent and the city attorney, school attorney, to bully Kristen Maxwell. And DJ Beauregard actually told Kristen in writing, told school committee member Kristen Maxwell that she was not allowed to communicate with the superintendent or the school attorneys without getting his permission first. Like, she's in first freaking grade, right? So Kristen shows up with Ron Marchand because she's not dumb, and the city attorney, and asked, why is Laurie Keegan allowed to call him? She's vice chairman of the committee. She has no power. Like, they're always attacking Kristen, saying that things aren't within her purview. And yet Laurie Keegan's out there making decisions like she's the superintendent.
They don't attack her. They bully her.
They bully her. Absolutely, they bully her. Which is, by the way, the reason why Tom Duggan's involved in all this. The only reason I'm involved in any of this is because Ken Roulette called me in January and said, you're not going to believe what's going to happen tonight. Watch tonight's meeting. I'm like, I haven't watched a school committee meeting I'm doing in like 6 years. I think like Brandy's first meeting was the last time I watched a school committee meeting. So like, all right, you know what? I was going to watch, there was something else I was going to do, but I had another meeting in another community, but I'll watch this one. And within 15 minutes of watching that school committee meeting, it became very clear that the superintendent was her body language and nodding at people at the table to go after Kristen. And then on cue, they would go after Kristen. And it was mostly Laurie and Dan would go after and bully her unmercifully, insult her, call her stupid. And by the way, did you guys know before we move on, did you know that the teachers in the school system made Kristen Maxwell's daughter and her daughter's class write a story about how Kristen was being mean to the teachers? Yeah.
What?
You want to talk about a lawsuit? I keep trying to get her to hire a lawyer. I've actually got a lawyer that wants to take the case because I told him about it, and he's like, come on. I'm like, yeah.
No.
Yes. So this is the kind of crap that goes on when Tom Duggan's not watching, okay? And so another thing that happened was Kristen Maxwell was on Facebook one day, and a parent went on and said, I'm thinking of moving. I moved to Methuen. I'm thinking of putting my kids in the Methuen schools. What do you think? And Kristen, she wasn't asking Kristen, she was asking people. Mm-hmm. Kristen went on and said, go elsewhere. Don't come here. Because she sees what's going on, right? Do you know that they got like a couple of dozen teachers to sign a letter to the Eagle Tribune and embarrassed her on the front page and called her out and were demanding that she resign because she dared to tell a parent to save her kid and not put them in the schools? Can you imagine? So this is the bullying that went on. The teachers union was involved. The superintendent's entire administration was involved. And, of course, our lapdogs on the school committee, Dan Shabilia and Laurie Keegan, and to a smaller degree, Mary Beth, were all involved in bullying Kristen Maxwell. And I sat there and I watched that first meeting and I went, I think the Methuen School Committee needs a little bit of Tom Duggan. That's what I think. And so I called Kristen that night. And she was spitting mad. She said, I'm resigning. I'm not staying here. If I don't resign, I'm not running for re-election. And I said, don't make any hasty decisions. Let's have lunch first. My famous lunch.
Of course.
Let's go to Salvatore's.
For an hour.
Dinner.
Yeah,
More like
dinner for an hour. In
3 hours last night, right?
Yeah.
So I said, let's go to Salvatore's where all problems in the world can be solved.
Yes, I believe
Last
it.
time we were there.
And she said yes, and we sat down and we talked, and I gave her some information about how she could get around them bullying her and doing the things that they're doing to her. And she was so happy to have anyone paying attention to what was going on in the schools and giving her good advice that she was like, you know what, maybe I will run for re-election. Like, if I have people out there that will actually back my play, maybe I will run. That's why I'm even involved. I would never be involved if Dan Shabilia was not bullying women at the table. And then he runs around calling other people bullies because someone like me puts a stop to his foolishness. So Nellie Soto approaches the idea of receivership for the Methuen schools. And boy, I'll tell you, you want to talk about kicking a hornet's nest. The administration flipped the F out over the idea of receivership. And of course, they call for their generals. I don't want to quote a certain state representative, Ryan Hamilton, but they circled the wagons and they got their generals, Laurie Keegan and Jade Jalbert and Heather Plunkett. Yeah, I'm a name dropper because if you're going to be a bully, if you think I'm a bully now, you have no idea what I've already got planned in the works for the next 6 months. You have no idea. If you think now you're being bullied over in the schools, this is nothing. This is Tom warming up. This is like Tom just getting going. So after Nellie Soto did that, what happened at the school committee, at the city council meeting this week? Well, the superintendent and her little minions had to get one of the school Nazis, Jade Jalbert, who speaks at every meeting for the superintendent, because the superintendent hired her husband. Her husband's the head of IT for the schools, which, by the way, is also the reason why they're fighting so hard to stop DJ Beauregard from merging the IT from the city and the schools, because Jade's husband will be out of a job. Get it now? None of this is about education. None of this is about the children. None of this is about their safety or their education or their ability to read. This is all about the inside politics of who's giving jobs to who, and giving Jade Jalbert's husband a job so that she'll defend you at meetings, and Heather Plunkett's getting these little things on the side, and Dan Shabilia's getting these little things on the side, and Laurie Keegan's having little secret meetings with the this Jade Jalbert. Yeah, nothing says, "Come here, little girl, I want to pervert you," like that photo. Hey, little girl, you want to try some alcohol?
You always get the best pictures of everyone.
And you know where I get them? Their own Facebook page. This came from her Facebook page.
Oh, my God.
Like, this isn't like me sneaking around taking photos of her. This is something she posted. This is something she thought people should see, right? So this lady that you're seeing right here, Jade Jalbert, who speaks at every meeting about how I mean, the superintendent, just everything she does is it's perfect. And anybody who disagrees is Hitler. Like, we're all Hitler out here. We're all fascist Hitler Nazis. We're Stalin and Pol Pot all rolled into one.
I'm laughing because Janilda's arm looks like it's finishing hers.
Oh my God. I'm going to have to start working out.
No, I don't want you working out because then you can beat me up. And while that does sound like fun, I don't want to sound like Dan Shabilia. I'm not a cuck. Sorry. So anyway, so here's Jade Jalbert. So she, on behalf of the superintendent, couldn't handle that, and the superintendent's administration couldn't handle the fact that Nellie Soto came to their house and exposed their bullshit. So at the city council meeting this week, let's listen to what Jade Jalbert had to say to defend the schools and all of her outright lies that she told. And how you know that they're lies is when she's done. Boy, do I have a video for you.
Number 1, right?
I think so.
Okay.
This should be the one at
that one?
At 5:10. Yep.
Hold on, give me a second. I gotta go play.
So this is the city council meeting this week in Methuen.
I see the chief has his hand raised.
No.
Am I?
There it is.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Miss Jade Jalbert?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, City Councilors. My name is Jade Jalbert, 6 Lady Slipper Lane.
Huh?
I wanted to address the public participation of a city councilor at the most recent school committee meeting.
That would be Nellie.
Councilor Soto spoke personally rather than from her position as a councilor. The topic she spoke to was availed to her due to her role as a city council member, so the two are intertwined in this case. The public participation was in direct response to an email this council received from one member of the school committee. In it, help was requested because a city employee under this council's purview is not doing their job. The councilor asked why it was sent from only one school committee member. Is the city council or this councilor not aware of the open meeting laws, which do not allow council and committee members to email their entire group?
You know why? This is how friggin' dishonest these people are. She's trying to make it seem like if it came from the entire council, it would be a violation of the open meeting law. Not if it was on the agenda, Jade Jalbert. Not if Laurie Keegan did what Kristen Maxwell does and gets attacked for all the time. Put it on the fucking agenda, have a public discussion in front of the public, give the public an opportunity to participate, public participation. Then you take a vote to send a letter to the city council asking them for action. You don't do it as the vice chairman of the school committee with zero power, because Laurie Keegan, or Larry Keegan, whatever we're calling you these days, It's not within your purview as the vice chairman of the school committee to be sending letters to the city council. That is not within your purview. Does it sound familiar? Because that's what you beat into Kristen Maxwell every single day. Every email, every meeting, every conversation, it's not within your purview. And here you are, going outside your purview, sending letters to the city council and putting Jay Jalba. You notice Laurie Keegan didn't have the balls to get up and do this. Right? You'll notice that Mary Beth didn't get up and do this. You'll notice that Dan Shabilia or Kelsey, who's really the school committee member, they didn't have the balls to get up and do this. They sent out Jay Jalbert, who, by the way, I remind you, who's only shilling for the superintendent because she gave her husband a job. Superintendent Brandy Coyne pays this woman's mortgage. That's why she's saying what she's saying. And lying on top of it, she's giving you the impression that if they had done it on behalf of the committee, it would have been a violation of the open meeting law. Not if they did it in open. But we all know none of you people do anything in the open. Everything you people do is behind closed doors. Everything you do is a violation of the open meeting law.
They all get together and talk. Yeah.
All right, let's finish this out.
All right.
I'm not even mad yet. Wait till we get to the next one.
Well, then it takes me a while.
Yeah, come on, Jade. Finish what you have to say. Your lies.
She unaware that the attorneys for the school department are not able to sign off on and approve contracts. These laws are for municipalities far and wide. They are not limited to Methuen. This counselor either did not know or chose to ignore these rules for the purpose of her speech. It is unfortunate the general public would tend to believe what was said given her role as a member of the city council, despite the obvious and deliberate avoidance of offering pertinent information. The counselor's speech at the school committee meeting offered no help to many distinct, individual, and very clear instances of the city solicitor not doing their job, a handful of which were detailed in the email. Instead, the counselor offered obvious deflection, avoidance, a refusal to help, and finger pointing. Rather than any consideration of holding an employee who is under this council's purview accountable, this member suggested the schools seek receivership.
Right.
Again, I point out that this is based on an email from a member of the school committee who is asking for help because of a city council employee's lack of accountability and responsibility. This issue was brought to the mayor and to this committee in a private manner. It was not meant to disparage anybody in public. The council member apparently thought that that was not the best way to go about it and instead wanted the entire city to know, albeit while avoiding details that matter. Here are a few of those details.
Well, please
The
enlighten
city
us.
solicitor was due for roughly a 12% increase in pay this fiscal year. To my knowledge, some percentage of that has been received and some has not yet. The solicitor is a city employee who reports to the city council, not the mayor or the school committee. The school department could potentially lose a multi-million-dollar savings contract because the solicitor refuses to do their job. The email indicated an instance where the school department contract had been sent out to a lawyer, hired at an additional cost because the city solicitor would not do their job. This other lawyer approved the contract on October 9th. As of last week, the solicitor is still holding it. There has also been lost time in education due to unsigned contracts, both advanced placement students and K-8. There was an in-person meeting requesting the solicitor update the template that had been designed for the school department contracts and has been in use for years. While updating was agreed by the solicitor on September 11th, no template has been provided, again as of last week. The school committee member sent out an email asking for help. Help for the school department, which overall helps the city. Help not to have a budget crisis again. Help with a department not doing its job, let alone in a timely manner. This city councilor's response was let the state take over.
Right.
Is this what we can expect from asking you to do your jobs?
I hope so.
Interestingly enough, the agenda tonight has no less than 7 contracts, none having to do with the school department. In closing, I will leave you with this direct quote from Councilor Soto with the hopes that it stands true for all employees. Quote, I don't fear telling department heads you're not doing your job and you're not doing it correctly, because that's why I'm here, to hold people accountable, end quote. I look forward to seeing people being held accountable. Thank you.
Great. Is there any?
No, we're pretty good with that.
You don't want to hear what Nelly has to say now?
No, because she doesn't. So now you're going to bounce up to The next video that we
The
have
next
at
video.
like the 11 something mark. So how about that? So first of all, we all know she didn't write that. That was written by the superintendent or
Yeah.
somebody in the superintendent's staff.
course.
Jade Jalbert's not smart enough to write any of that and
Do you
not
have
privy.
kids in the school system?
I think she does. I think she's a parent. But she's not privy to the information that she read on, obviously she read out loud from something somebody else wrote. But if you listen to everything that she said, wow, that sounds really horrible, right? Like if you took that at face value, you'd be like, wow, this city solicitor, he should be disbarred. Like the guy doesn't do his job. By the way, I hope he sues her for slander. And I think he's got a case. When you're attacking an attorney and saying that they're purposely not doing their job, that they are responsible for kids not getting educated, it kind of sounds like slander to me. I'm kind of an expert on the issue of slander. I hope, and his name is Paul O'Neill. I had to look it up because I've never met the guy. But she made a number of accusations that this is all because the city solicitor didn't do his job on a contract, and we lost instruction time. Tell me how it is that anything that the city does stops teachers from teaching kids instruction time in the schools. There's a thing that I can think of. I don't care what it is. He didn't approve a contract or whatever it is. It has nothing to do with the city side. It has nothing to do with the city council. It has nothing to do with even the mayor, except he's chairman of the school committee. It has to do with the school committee and the superintendent. But, of course, she has to show for her husband, who's working for the schools, who got a job. And again, I want to point out, you don't see Laurie Keegan doing this, and you don't see Dan doing this because Dan knows he could lose his law license if he made these kind of accusations, right? And you don't see Kelsey Shabilia doing this because they want deniability when all this blows up in Jade's face. The good thing about all these people, I call them school Nazis, is that there's no loyalty among any of them. Yeah. Like the minute that this goes wrong, they're going to throw Jade right under the bus, and she's going to be the bad guy.
Who's her husband's boss?
So her husband is head of IT. So I imagine that he answers to the assistant superintendent, Bozak.
Okay.
Who then answers to the superintendent. So indirectly the superintendent.
Okay.
So we know that the superintendent and her administration is writing all this stuff for their minions to go out. And this is why they ran Martha. This is why they ran Mary Beth. This entire thing is manufactured so that the failures of the schools are not put where the failures of the schools belong, which is the superintendent, the assistant superintendents, and the school committee. And this is, by the way, the reason that they bully Kristen Maxwell and to a lesser degree Ken Willett. Look at me, Ken. Look at me when I talk to you, right? This is the way they talk to them. Because these are the only two people that are actually asking questions and calling people out. So if you listen to all of that, you say, wow, that city solicitor guy, he must be really horrible, right? And I don't know why Lawrence and Methuen both have this kind of policy that they're not to answer what people say at public participation. I think that's kind of stupid. I think the public would learn more if you allowed that, right?
Oh,
I'd like to see the city council and Methuen change that, and Lawrence as well. But this happened about 5 minutes and 11 seconds into the meeting. She talked for about 4 minutes, and I think a few people had a few things to say. And then somewhere along the 11-minute mark, the city attorney, I think he just had enough. And so I think he wants to address what Jade Jalbert had to say.
It takes a little bit. Hold on.
All right.
I have to switch. I need to
His name is Paul O'Neill.
Madam Chairman, since my name was mentioned by Ms. Jalbert, I just want to correct the record. I don't know where she's receiving her information from, if it's coming from the superintendent.
That's exactly right.
But if it is, it's grossly inaccurate. The issues she describes are completely untrue. First of all, the solar contract has been worked on by the solicitor's office for well over a year now. We sent comments to the solar contractor a year ago, and it took them almost a year to return those comments to the legal department. Ooh. So any delay is really the result of that.
Ooh,
regardless of what the school attorney has done, it doesn't matter. The legal department has fully reviewed that contract and sent detailed comments on to the mayor's office, which the mayor is considering. quite frankly, there are many, many serious concerns about that contract, and it's going to be up to the mayor and the city council to make a determination now that we've negotiated favorable
do tell.
terms for the city. As
Don't tell me it's an
favorable as we
illegal
can
contract.
obtain
That's not an illegal
for
contract,
the council
is it?
and for the mayor to make a decision as to whether or not that contract really is in the best interest of the city. And you'll hear more about my recommendations later when and if that contract comes before the council. As to the contracting pieces at the school department, I will just say that they're a mess. As you know, earlier in the year, the superintendent wrote an illegal contract to replace the boiler at one of the schools and didn't follow proper procurement procedures. So these issues aren't things that are related to the solicitor's office or to the mayor's office or to the city council. They're related exclusively to the school department. I'll give you another example.
Well, please do.
We got a contract today at the last minute, as we usually do from the school department, for $373,000 of school supplies and decals and things. 2-page contract. A 2-page contract that includes none of the required clauses. It doesn't include insurance. It doesn't include a number of the required clauses. It was sent back by the purchasing director. That's exactly how it's supposed to work. As to the templates that Ms. Jalbert refers to, we shared those required templates with the school department several weeks ago. So if they're not being used, I don't know why that is, but I haven't seen one come back to me. They have access to all those templates. So I don't know where the information is coming from.
I do. Pick me.
But as you know, I've gone through the email that was received last week, and you have full information about that. And I'm happy to discuss it further with you as the need arises. But those two particular issues that she mentioned have been resolved, and they will either be before you based on what the mayor thinks about the changes in that contract or not. I will note that the solar piece was not the result of an RFP process. And although RFPs are not required for green energy and for solar, many communities choose to do that because they can get a better deal.
Right.
So that's always an option as well. But again, the mayor will decide whether or not he thinks that the changes that we've made and that the contractor has finally agreed to after a year's worth of negotiations are sufficiently in the best interest of the city for the city to move forward with that contract.
Wow. Just what you didn't think it could get any better, right, intern girl?
That was good. That's a good attorney. He needs to be my attorney.
The last guy was horrible. How did they go from a guy that was like a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10 to a guy who's like a 9? That was amazing.
9.5.
Lawrence needs him.
We got to pull her down.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
You're
Stop
killing.
it. No.
I don't want to get her facial expressions.
I was all turned on when she sat down. Now I got to look at that.
I don't want to get her facial expressions. I got to protect her.
Thank you. Thank you. You're the best.
So there's a couple of things that he said there that are really, really shocking. And it's not shocking that it's happening because we've been saying it on this show for a couple of years now. But what's shocking is that someone finally said it out loud. The superintendent is signing illegal contracts. Ryan DeZoglio, are you paying attention? Paging Ryan DeZoglio. Please come to the front desk. Illegal contracts on the boilers. A $373,000 contract for supplies that was not done legally, which makes it another illegal contract. So in a way, I feel bad for Jade Jalbert because she's being told what to say. She's not smart enough to know what all these other things are that are going on and what's required. Mm-hmm. She's putting herself out there as a good soldier by one of the generals, Ryan Hamilton. One of the generals is sending her out there, and I say it because he's a friend, but it's still so true. And she's going out there and she's making a fucking fool of herself for them. And when it's all over, I promise you, because I've seen 100 Jade Jalberts and 100 Kelsey Shabilias come and go in my lifetime in this business. When it's all over, Jade will be the bad guy. They'll blame her and go, oh, we didn't tell her to do that. Oh, we had nothing to do with that. And then she'll be the one that's shunned. And she's the one whose phone calls won't get answered. And she's the one that's going to get ghosted because they used her like they use everyone. And so this entire discussion is bad enough. when you don't put it into context. It's bad enough that the superintendent's signing illegal contracts, that the school committee vice chairman is, I would say illegally, but at the very least inappropriately sending emails to the city council that look like, and this is what they do, like they need deniability in case they get caught. So they make it look like it's on behalf of the entire board, but they don't say it's on behalf of the entire board, so they can always take it back later on. Like they always try to leave themselves with, this is the deception of politics, right? And if you don't even put it in context, all of that is horrible, right? Like you're walking into a mess. Like, remember when you won on election night and they said you won, but what did you really win? This is what I meant.
Yes.
This is exactly what I was talking about.
Yes.
So I want to put this into context for you as we wrap up the show, and then we're going to just chat with the future Mrs. Duggan for a little bit.
Which one?
Whichever one let's go with Duncan Burns' one first. And if you could put it up on the screen without covering me so I could kind of talk about it a little bit.
I can do the pictures, but I don't know the videos. None of
So here's the thing. While they're talking about masturbation in the Methuen schools, while they're talking about blaming the city solicitor, calling him incompetent, saying he's not doing his job, blaming the city council, look what's going on in the schools. $131 million annual spending, $18,000 per student. $18,000 is what you're spending of your tax money. And by the way, my tax money, because I pay state taxes and they get state grants. I pay federal taxes and they get federal grants. Their per pupil expenditure is 19% above U.S. average. Are their test scores 19% above national average, Mrs. Duggan?
No.
No, it is not. 27% math proficiency. 27%. 73% of the kids in the Methuen schools, with 19% more being spent per student, 73% of the kids in that middle box are doing math below grade level. Reading, 70%. 7 out of 10 kids that leave their mom and dad in the morning and kiss them goodbye and go to school and sit in a classroom and learn about anal sex and transgender bathrooms and masturbation and all the other crap that they're teaching. Johnny has 2 mommies, Billy has 2 daddies, all this other shit that they're teaching in the schools. This is the result. Because you know what they're not focusing on? They're not focusing on teaching kids how to fucking read. They're not teaching kids how to do math. They're not teaching kids how to do critical thinking. They're not giving kids the tools that they need to be able to know how to process information as an adult, to go out and get a job or to get into a 4-year college. The middle line here, 7,100 students in the Methuen schools. State meets the state target 42%. And by the way, that bar is very low because they did away with the MCAS. So that bar is very low. 41% high school absentee rate. 41% of the kids in the Methuen high school have a high absentee rate. Now, I had somebody come on my Facebook page when I first posted this. When Duncan, by the way, Duncan Burns, thank you for putting this together for me. What a great tool, and he's a great guy too.
When you
Duncan.
see these numbers like that, it's scary.
Isn't it right? Right.
It's very scary.
So, if we just talked about this, or we just talked about the segments that we just did before this, standing alone, these two things are frightening. When you put them together and say this is all the same school system, it's even more frightening. So someone came on my Facebook page and said, but Tom, what can you do about the absentee rate? Like go to their house and kidnap them? No, but you know what you can do? You can hold them back. You can say any kid that has more than 10 absences, you're not getting promoted. Mm-hmm. If you're in 7th grade, you're coming back in 7th grade next year. Oh, we can't do that. It'll screw up our numbers. Right. Then find a way to figure it out or you screw up your numbers. Period. 86.5% graduation rate. I don't believe that for a minute. This is their numbers. 3.8% drop from last year. I have a hard time believing that, except that we know that they're promoting kids and graduating kids who are not prepared.
We're not prepared.
So they may be giving 86.5% of these kids diplomas, but I guarantee you they didn't earn it. So math, 27 versus 41. 41 is the state. English language learners, 30% versus 42 for the state. Science, 27 versus 42% for the state. 3 out of 4 Methuen kids can't do grade level math. And then let's go back to that very first box at the top that's in orange. It's in orange for us. I don't know if it is for you.
No, it's red.
$131 million school budget, $18,565 per student, 19% above the national average. None of these numbers are even close to 19% above the national average. These are all below the national average. You can pull that down. And so this is why what we're hearing about from Jade Jalbert and the anal sex stuff and the masturbation stuff and the part-time chocolate Indian and all this other stuff that they want to talk about is a distraction because they don't want you to see that. And why Nellie Soto, I've only met her literally like twice. I don't think we've had more than a hello conversation. But Nellie Soto is aware of all of this. And God bless her for going publicly into the lion's den and throwing it right in their face and saying, here you go. You want to blame us for your failures? Here it is. Here's your failures. Maybe when we look at these numbers, and by the way, compare those numbers to Lawrence, those numbers are worse than Lawrence.
Yes.
Those numbers are worse than Lawrence. If I have to get Jonathan Guzman to come on next week to talk about Lawrence numbers and do a side-by-side, you guys will be shocked at how much better Lawrence does. But Lawrence is in receivership, and Methuen is not. Brandy Kwong is a hero. Ralph Carrero's the bad guy. Like seriously?
It's the color thing. It's the skin.
It's the only difference, right? The only difference between Lawrence and Methuen is the color of the skin, right? And so you look at that and you think, well, no wonder why Jade Jalbert and Heather Plunkett want to talk about a part-time chocolate Indian masturbating in school. No wonder why they want to talk about transgender bathrooms. It's look at the squirrel. Look at the squirrel, because if you're doing that, you're not talking about academics, reading, math, science. We didn't even go to the science numbers, are even worse. The history numbers are almost zero.
Wow.
I was looking at the history numbers this morning. They don't even call it history anymore. They call it social studies.
I wonder what curriculum they use. Do they use Engage New York?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But you look at the social studies numbers, the history numbers, it's almost zero.
Wow.
Like it's really close to zero. And so you look at that and you think, well, what has Dan Shabilia been doing for 2 years? He's been on the school committee. Well, Mary Beth Donovan, she's been there for 2 years. What is she doing about this? Laurie Keegan, she just got reelected. What is she doing about all
Remember,
this?
this is not a problem. This problem started a long time ago.
Right.
So this is not a problem that came from yesterday.
I agree.
And, I'm a bigger believer that, like I said earlier, we need to tackle the problem. We need to look on the solutions. If we start spending our time and our money on the problem, it's never going to get fixed. So we need to start getting on the solution. If the solution is receivership, so let it be, but like I said, I'm just one of, so many.
But you know what doesn't solve the problem, future Mrs. Duggan? What doesn't solve the problem is having school board members sit there and blame the city council.
Oh, no.
Or talk about social issues.
Right, all right. Or talking about transgender bathrooms or all this other foolishness.
No, definitely.
And then giving, by the way, you just saw all those numbers, everybody at home? Do you realize that with those numbers, this school committee gave another 3-year contract to Superintendent Brandy Kwong? Yeah, they gave her a 3-year contract like a month and a half ago.
Wait, I thought she was leaving.
No,
Yeah, she announced that she's resigning.
Oh yeah, but before
they gave her a contract. So they gave her a 3-year contract, but she saw that Tom Duggan was investigating the schools and making. I'm the only person that's talked about the schools in the last 7 years, and all of a sudden now she's going somewhere else.
Yeah, and not only that, the report that we just got.
The audit report.
The audit report.
And by the way, has the school committee reached out to the city council about the audit report to have a joint committee with the school committee and the city council to have a public dialogue about the audit report, which also said that Superintendent Brandy Kwong's administration was an abysmal failure? No, there isn't even one scheduled. No. And where's by the way, again, where's DJ Beauregard? How come DJ's not scheduling that? He's chairman of the school committee. He's the mayor of the city. He shows up at all the city council, most of the city council meetings, shows up at most of the school committee meetings. How come that's been swept under the rug? They had this one meeting where he wanted to blow everything out all at once and overwhelm people with the information and confuse everybody and didn't want to take the time to let people digest the information and then have a meeting and then have conversations about what happened. And now here we are a couple months later and nothing. has happened for the $140,000 they spent. You're going to have your hands full if you just
yes.
Duggan. I'm telling you that
Oh,
right
yes.
now.
Believe me, I've been reading a lot. I've been reading a lot.
She's so adorable. I can't even stand it.
I think one of so the issue and having the report discussed at the meeting. I think they're waiting for the new committee to start.
There's a comment from Kristen Maxwell. She says, yes, a school committee member has requested this to be scheduled. It just hasn't happened.
Mm-hmm.
So why hasn't it happened? And it could be that they're waiting for the new school committee to come on board.
They're waiting for the new school committee to come on board.
Yeah, maybe. But I still think that this current school committee that's responsible for what happened should be meeting with the city council. And maybe they should both be meeting with the city council, because you look at Dan Shabilia, who, thank God, is going back to the private sector, is going back to obscurity where he belongs, because he ran for city council and he lost.
Every other Tuesday, Methuen 300. He's there.
Yeah, Ryan Hamilton's putting. Well, so Methuen 300 is this organization they're putting together for the 300th anniversary of Methuen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also the same people, it's the same school Nazi people that are kind of involved in both. Okay. And they were having their meeting back to back at the library because they wanted the crossover. But there was a brisk wind that day, so they had to cancel, because you know how snowflakes don't like wind.
There was school that day, by the way.
There was school, but the adults at City Hall went home.
Oh, okay.
So the kids could be in the schools, but not in City Hall, because that would just be wrong.
I mean, the roads get slippery.
Listen, you don't want city workers having to work while there's brisk wind outside. Like, how are they supposed to concentrate on putting budgets
that's an old
together?
building. Maybe the windows are old. I don't know. Maybe
the
it's not
windows are
good.
now.
Maybe makes that scary noise. So,
that building is scary. Was
It is a scary
it like a
building.
jail before or something?
I don't think so, but it does look
The
haunted.
hallways. I don't know. It just feels like it.
It does look haunted. When you look at a picture of City Hall, it looks like something out of a horror movie, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful inside, but
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful building.
But it looks scary.
Sometimes.
Especially where it is, like at the top of the hill, and I don't know.
So you got Nellie Soto, the city council, calling for receivership of the schools. God bless her. God bless her. It's almost like she watches the show. I know she probably doesn't, but it's almost like she does. So I'm going to try and take some credit for it. And you got the city solicitor calling Jay Jalbert out, going, "Oh, you literally just don't know what you're talking about," and then giving you the facts right down the line, and that they're sending contracts that are illegal. The superintendent's signing contracts that are illegal. And by the way, where's the mayor in all this? Because when Kristen Maxwell steps out of line,
He has Colby.
right? What's that?
He has Colby.
COVID.
COVID? Who
Yeah.
does?
The mayor.
Oh, he does.
He does.
Well, listen, as mad as I am at him, I hope he feels better. I don't want anybody to have COVID.
No.
Why are you looking at me so skeptically? She's looking at me like
so.
I'm not really.
I don't think
Listen,
you mean it.
honestly, I'm going to say this again. I want to like DJ Beauregard.
Hold on. Who agrees with me?
Oh,
You think-
intern girl Cam. We have
Hold
the
on.
intern girl Cam.
Do you think?
Intern girl
Tom
Cam,
means
sponsored
that?
by Pleasant Valley Landscaping Contractors.
No, how do you say it? Contractors?
Contractors.
Thank you, David. You're the best. You don't mean it.
Of course, I mean I
I'm
like DJ. I've
kidding,
known
I'm
DJ since he was 14 years old. In fact, his mom. I'm gonna blow this out, and everyone's gonna be mad at me now. My whole family's gonna be pissed off. His mom dated my brother Danny when we were in high school, or maybe slightly after high school. So I know his mom.
Tom.
I remember his mom when I was growing up, and I think her name is Dina. I might be wrong about, but I think it is. And I remember DJ when he was an intern for Billy Manzi, and then after that he worked on Kathy Corey Rami. And you have to use her middle name because it's Kathy Corey Rami. And when you say hello to her, you have to say, "Hi, Kathy Corey Rami." You always can't just say Kathy or Kathleen. It's Kathleen Corey Rami. Just giving her a hard time because she's a friend. And I remember him, and I remember how excited he was to be involved and to know the mayor as a kid. Like, the mayor knew his name, and they worked together in City Hall. And I remember that eager, excited, excitable kid that just wanted to be part of things and wanted to make a difference in his community. And so maybe I'm still seeing that kid in my head now. Because he keeps slapping me in the face by ignoring me and telling me he's going to do things he doesn't do and everything else. And I keep, even though I'm talking about it, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt when literally everyone around me is telling me not to. So I like DJ, and I'm hoping that he's going to step up to the plate at some point so I can turn to everyone around me and go, see, he just needed time.
Yeah.
Right? See, he fell into a position when Neil Perry passed away, and he was thrown into this, and he had to learn as he was going. And now he's hitting his groove, and now he's doing it. Right?
A lot of people in his ear.
Well, it doesn't help that he hired Jim McCarty. who's one of the most corrupt city councilors that Methuen has seen in a long time. And that's his chief of staff. So that doesn't help. It doesn't help that he listens to former mayors. It doesn't help that he has kind of a team of people behind the scenes that he admires. And it's okay to admire people and also accept the fact that this is sometimes wrong.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he needs to gain some confidence, I think.
Well, he needs to be his own person.
Yeah, he needs to gain confidence and believe in himself that he can do the job
and I'll tell you,
make right decisions.
I'll tell you the biggest mistake that he's making, because he doesn't talk to me, so I have to say it on the air, is that, he's trying to walk the middle. He's not a liberal. He's not a left-wing lunatic like the Jay Jalberts of the world. He's really not for the transgender bullshit. He's not for the masturbation stuff, but he can't say that out loud, right? Because he's a Democrat. And he wants to run for something else later on down the road. We all know that. We all know what his goals are in life. And so he's not that, but he can't push back against that because he doesn't want to piss. They're like a hornet's nest. Like, you can't piss. You see how vehemently they've come after me for defending Kristen. Like, they're literally having meetings at the library with a state representative, Ryan Hamilton, about how we can stop Tom Duggan. Right? Like, they're literally having meetings about me. Like, I'm a guy from North Andover with a podcast and a newspaper. Why are you meeting? How about meeting about...
You don't even live in Methuen.
Right. Like, how about having a meeting about raising the test scores for kids in reading? How about having a meeting about that? Like, they're not having those meetings. How come they're not having a meeting about 73% of the kids can't do math at grade level? That's something you should be having a meeting about, not Tom Duggan. But now they're going to have this little group where they're going to go out and they're going to hold signs. Donald Trump is a fascist. He's mean. He says mean things.
No kings.
He called a woman Billy No Kings. And this is what they waste their time on. And, if you have a school system like Andover, where 80% of the kids are reading at grade level, then you can almost tolerate this bullshit. You can almost tolerate the idiocy of the stuff that they focus on and what's important to them. But when you have it the opposite, when 80% of your kids can't read at grade level and can't do math at grade level,
scary,
and even fewer know history or science at grade level, much less science of history at all, then you start to see why Methuen is careening off a cliff, and you've got a city council now calling for receivership, right? Because Lawrence is way better shape.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get Jonathan. Let's make a note to get Jonathan Guzman on the show to talk about all the gains Lawrence has made, and they're fighting to get control of their schools back, when Methuen is so much worse.
Yeah.
So you're walking into the lion's den, kiddo.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to watching you react to what's going on at those meetings.
I'm waiting for it. I'm looking forward to work for Methuen. I mean, today I had the first my son, my youngest one. He's going into high school next year, 2026, 2027.
I feel so old.
Right? You remember him when he was like a little baby and everything?
And he has his first interview today.
Oh.
Yeah, so we are looking into high schools for him. And it's sad because I really wish that we had the school system that he'll be able literally to walk from home to school. But I at this point I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
I have no idea what she said. I just love the way she said it.
She's saying that she wishes her son can go to the high school.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't have a kid go to high school. Well, it's a nightmare.
No.
It's a nightmare. And, one of the things that we learned thanks to Kristen, she put an item on the agenda about transgender bathrooms, and they flipped out. Like, they really flipped out. Because what the administration was doing, and it's so dishonest, so the state has a mandate that you have to have single-stall, gender-neutral bathrooms, right? So if you've got a kid that wants to pretend that they're a boy, but they want to pretend that they're a girl, they're a transvestite, and they want to go into the bathroom, you don't want the boy going into girls' bathrooms because you're going to have problems, especially in high school, especially in middle school. So the state has mandate that you have to have X number of bathrooms that are single-stall, gender-neutral in each school. And what Brandy Kwong and Dan Shabilia and Laurie Keegan did is they counted the faculty bathrooms as single stall for the students, but they weren't letting the students use it.
Okay.
And why weren't they letting the students use it? Because then the boys have to go in the girls' bathrooms, because that's what they want. That's the goal. And I have people on my page all the time going, "Oh, you have a tinfoil hat. It's a conspiracy theory." Listen to what they say themselves. This is what they want. And because it's part of the Democrat Party platform to destroy the nuclear family, we know that if you turn a kid trans, if you pervert a kid at a young age, there's less of a chance that they're going to be involved in a nuclear family when they grow up with mom and dad at home taking care of their own kids. Because if you don't have a nuclear family, you're going to be dependent on the government, and you're going to vote Democrat, and you're going to do what the government tells you to do, and you're going to lose your benefits. And we all know that that's the grift. And that's why they want drag time story hour in the schools. That's why they want gender queer pushed in the library. By the way, breaking news, Ken Willett has got a really explosive column in the next week's Valley Patriot about the librarian at Methuen High School pushing kids. Now, here's the thing. They don't have books in the library that are pornographic. But what she's doing is she's encouraging them to read the banned books online. And I guess they have some kind of like a database of books online through Amazon or something, and giving them the list of banned books. And one of them is Genderqueer, where not only does it talk about anal sex graphically, but it shows drawings of people doing it graphically. So of course they don't want to. They want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about reading. They don't want to talk about math. They don't want to talk about any of this stuff.
Kristen is intervening again. She's saying, I did not put an item about transgender bathrooms. I put a bathroom discussion on the agenda after a parent said a boy was in the girls' bathroom. So the topic was put on the agenda like that, but that was not by me.
Well, okay, so, and I know why she's making this distinction. People at home are like, well, what's the difference? The difference is she got excoriated by the Heather Plunkett's and the Kelsey Shabilias for putting an item on the agenda for transgender bathrooms when that's not what she submitted. That's what the superintendent wrote.
Got it.
So as a school board member, you submit your items for the next agenda. The superintendent decides how it's worded on the agenda. And so Kelsey got up because, and she knows this because she's a puppet for Brandy Kwong, and excoriated Kristen and said, why did you put it on as transgender bathrooms? And then followed up with, by the way, these are the people who call everyone Nazis. I don't think this should have been on the agenda anyway, she said. She wanted to shut down all public discussion about this. But we're the Nazis. We're the Nazis, but they want to silence Kristen and not allow her to talk as an elected official at an elected meeting. So, listen, folks, I just gave you so much information. This should be enough for you guys for this month. I should be able to take the next 3 weeks off with all the stuff that I gave you today.
No, we have at the end of the month. We have Christmas, so we can't come. So we have to
Christmas.
Come. Yeah, so we have to come this month.
All right.
Well, we can do the Christmas week on a Tuesday.
Is Christmas on a Thursday this year?
Let me see.
Tom, I just
What are we doing? What are we doing for Christmas?
For Christmas,
it is on a Thursday.
See, so what?
I don't know yet.
See,
what we doing for Christmas? No.
So I just want to ask something about everything you have said. I just hope that we have more participations of parents in the committees. I hope that.
But after the way they treated the last parent that complained about
the
this
last two
book.
parents.
But
But that's why they did that. They want to stifle parents.
Yeah, but you know
forward.
what? If a group of us as parents come together, unity is key. So if we get united, we'll get stronger. And it's about doing the right thing for our kids. It's about thinking of our kids. It's not about who is gonna get benefit out of the system. It's about thinking what is best for
right.
our
But it's
kids,
hard to get
for
stuff done
education.
when people are out there shilling for their husbands getting jobs and their brother-in-laws getting jobs.
It is my understanding that there is an email, that there's a website page that you could just go in and and just write your concerns, and your name is protected. So so you just go in there. Yeah, your name is protected. It is not going to be disclosed to anyone in the board. So it will protect the kid as well, and the parent can benefit from it just by going.
I don't know. Would you trust that? I'm not too sure I'd trust that. That they can't tell who you are. Like I don't want to stifle people from coming forward, but I worry.
It's one thing or the other. You know, either they're afraid to come up front and say how they feel, and
they can always come to me. I'll always keep people's anonymity.
But
Annie Kivlahan came to me, and it took me a month and a half to convince her to come forward, but I never would have said her name if she hadn't done it on her own.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So at least you can use
But at
this
least
portal.
Do you have the email?
No, I don't have it. But
If you send it to me, I'll post it.
I can definitely get it for you guys.
Okay, that's good.
And
Are you coming with us to Brando's?
Please.
Yes.
Where's Krista? She's supposed to be here.
She says she's coming. I text. Yeah.
Is she meeting us there or is she meeting us here?
Let me ask her. Probably there.
So if Marie Thibodeau wants to come, anybody that wants to come join us is going to do like a little mini flash mob. I'm saying if she wants to come, she can.
Oh, okay.
If anybody wants to join us, do like a little mini flash mob at Brando's, and you get to meet the future Mrs. Duggan. So I mean, how much more could you want?
Randy said he wanted to come.
Randy can come.
Randy, of course.
David should join us too.
Dave Idconsoli. Yeah, it's almost his bedtime, so he should have nothing to do right around now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he starts his day at like 4 a.m., I think, and then like he's done by like 2 or 3.
Wow.
He's a landscaper, so they're up early,
Yeah.
you know.
So the city hall, according to Tammy Grant,
yes.
just said it was built as a high school, and then it was sold and used as a business after it was also a grammar school as well. So.
Oh, all right.
Well, it looks like a jail to me.
I was busy looking at the future Mrs. Duggan on my computer, and so I didn't hear a word you said. But I'm just going to go, okay. That's fine. I'm so distracted. You see the difference in how I'm on my A game when she's not here, and then when she's here, I'm just like, I'm like putty.
This is the last time I'm coming.
No, you can't do that.
No.
No.
That's the Dominican no.
No.
Sí, señor, sí.
Sí.
All right, we ready to end?
I guess we are. We blew out a lot of stuff for you guys today.
Yes, we did. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
By the way, Carrie at House of Mercy wants me to announce. I don't know why she wants me to say this publicly. She probably shouldn't, but she wants me to announce that even though the city has not approved her to open House of Mercy tonight, she is going to be opening House of Mercy anyway. Hopefully she gets the permits before she officially opens. But there are people who are going to be freezing tonight.
Oh, yes.
And if
Where is this located?
It's House of Mercy on Bay State Road off of Water Street.
Okay.
Right by the canal where the popcorn place is. They make popcorn there. There's a little popcorn. Thing
Lawrence,
they make like
right?
caramel popcorn. Yep. Bay State Road, right off of the homeless know exactly where it is.
Okay.
So if you're homeless and you're worried about freezing to death tonight, the city doesn't give a shit about you. The city council doesn't give a shit about you. The city police department doesn't give a shit about you. They can pretend all they want. They can say whatever they want at city council meetings about how they started things 5 years ago and everything else. But they were going to let you sit outside tonight. That's what they were going to do.
Wow.
They were going to let you sit outside tonight and sleep outside tonight. And if they found your tent, probably take your tent away tonight. Carrie is going to provide you with some kind of heat, some kind of assistance tonight. Hopefully through my bullying online. And Dan Shabili is right about one thing. I am a bully, but I punch up. Right? If I'm bullying somebody, I'm punching up. And hopefully people in the mayor's office and the city council offices, the district councilors, heard my words on this show today and are making phone calls to make sure that not only House of Mercy is open tonight, because they can't. It's great that she's opening House of Mercy. That's not enough.
I thought they usually open the senior center.
Yeah, the senior center or the library. And again, I understand that there's problems. You're dealing with drug addicts.
Yeah.
You're going to have people who are going to fight. You're going to have people that have problems. But that's your job.
But you have police officers that
But,
can also support.
and that's your job. You ran for public office to deal with the public. This is part of the public.
Yep.
And please stop saying that they're not from Lawrence, because 80% of the people who have homes are not from Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear that. So Billy Griffin over there at Brando's. Hope you got a nice table for us in the back.
Well, you can see the door.
Yeah, I need to be able to see the door, just in case.
You have your babies, two of them today?
I always have both, and extra mags as well.
I always ask when I go out with him, because you never know.
You have to. And by the way, tonight, TMF is going to be out at midnight. We're going to go out at midnight tonight for those who could not fit in House of Mercy, who will not make their way to a shelter. The nearest shelter other than House of Mercy will be Haverhill. I don't know any homeless people that can walk from here to Haverhill.
They should take the bus now so they can get there.
So we're going to be
time.
out today. You can come with me if you want. I don't know what your schedule is, but we're going to be driving around starting at midnight tonight. We're going to be doing wellness checks. We're going to be going to all the locations where we know that people have had tents and at least up until recently had places to stay, whether it's in the makeshift places or abandoned buildings. We have a pretty good idea of where most people are in this weather, and we're going to be out there with hot cocoa. We're going to be out there with blankets and hand warmers and sternos to try and help the people that are still on the streets, because quite frankly, and I hate to say it because almost everyone in city government in Lawrence is a friend of mine, but they don't give a shit. They just don't.
Can we have Michael on the show one of these days?
Yeah, he hasn't been on in a while. It's been a few years since
That would
he's
be great,
been on.
especially now in the winter.
He had a like a telethon
the other day.
Tuesday, and they raised about $3,500. You want to know what the best thing is?
What?
Because you want to hear something funny. All right, I'm going to end the show with this. So I got a phone call from somebody at St. Andrew's Church. Remember St. Andrew's Church?
Yeah.
The place I got arrested?
Yeah.
Because of Kelly?
Yes, I remember.
Remember how she claimed I should have known that that's where her office was because her vans were in the back?
Oh.
Well, apparently she ended up leaving, owing them when her little nonprofit collapsed after I won my court case. Apparently, she ended up leaving them owing a lot of money in back rent. So they took possession of her vans, and they called me yesterday and said, "Hey, anybody wants to buy these vans? Hey, Tom, you want to buy Kelly's vans?" Yes. Yeah, you can see her mouth is hanging open on the floor.
They can see.
So.
You ruined that girl's life. I mean, she ruined it herself.
Neither one of them. They literally have nothing now. And I predicted this was going to happen, and I gave them every chance to get out of it. I gave them so much wiggle room. It's ridiculous. So I called Michael Gorman, and I said, "Listen, you just raised $3,500 Tuesday night for Giving Tuesday. You should take some of that money and go over to St. Andrews and talk to them about buying those vans. Because wouldn't it be great to have Tom Duggan driving the TMF van that used to belong to Kelly Frazier, pulling up a TMF, driving the van with pictures and videos of me driving her van that she tried to have me arrested for? How about that? And
What
did
kind
have
of
me
vans
arrested
is
for.
it? Like the transporting?
Yeah, it's like
a small one.
It's like a small bus, only it's white instead of yellow.
Got it. I know.
Right?
which
It's like
one
a
it is.
transportation van.
Oh, okay. So it's like a seats in the back.
minivan?
What's up?
Like a minivan?
Yeah, it's like
It
a
has
mini.
seats in the back, or does it have just for storage?
It's got rows.
Oh, okay. No.
So people can. So she used to pick up veterans and bring them to like her soup kitchen, soup
okay.
pantry, whatever it is she was doing. And I think the year that I let Debo speak at the bash, because I was trying to be nice and I was trying to make things better, I think she showed up with a truck full of veterans. Because veterans are free, by the way. We're having our bash March 27th. Veterans are always free. So let's roll up, Mel. Let's get
No.
who are our sponsors.
No.
The beautiful and talented future Mrs. Duggan.
Yanilda Santos.
You can't take her off the screen.
Oh, you want me to put her on?
Of
For the
course.
clothes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry.
She's one of the most beautiful women I know. She's so sweet, too. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
All right, let's thank our sponsors if I can get through it. Century 21 McLennan Real Estate. Just watching her dance. It's so Brando's in Haverhill, where we're headed right now. The Zany Pesh Law Office. The Hungry Traveler in Salisbury. Marston and Son Construction. EIS Investigation and Gun Training. Tomo and Shaken Seafood. Try the Godzilla and the Kamikaze. Those are amazing. AFC Urgent Care Clear Path for Veterans New England. Yes, you can join us, Randy, if you want to join us. Pleasant Valley Landscaping.
Contractors.
You have to show the picture, though.
Oh,
when you do
okay.
that.
Sorry.
Pleasant Valley Landscaping. Contractors.
It takes the music off.
Oh, all right. Very good.
I got to add it.
Prime Insurance, the Doug Mercurio Law Office. We actually voted Doug's going to be our MC at the Bash this year. You've never been to the Bash, so you're going to sit up on stage with me. As the future Mrs. Duggan, you get priority seating.
She's taking my seat?
W3ON. No, you're going to be the co-MC.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, it's going to be you and Doug. We just hadn't announced it yet.
Oh,
so don't tell anybody.
exciting.
We're going to announce it shortly. 4-Star Lighting, Stadium Chiropractic, a free shout-out to my good buddy Paul Lambert at Lambert and Randone Law Office. And there they are right there. JG's Ice Cream. It doesn't matter how cold it is. Doesn't matter what the weather is. It's always a good day for JG's Ice Cream. They are the best.
Yes,
and I don't just say that because I like the owners of JG's Ice Cream, which I do. The Frida Brothers are great. But to have such a great product.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I like them, I'd promote them a little bit. But I even like put them on the screen and stuff because their product is superior. Like, I'm not an ice cream guy, but if I'm getting ice cream, that's what I'm going.
I'm not. I don't like to eat sweets.
Yeah, you need like at least 2 or 3 fraps a day.
I love ice cream.
We got to bulk her up a little bit, just a little bit.
No. She looks great like that.
No. But you know what? I love coffee heath yogurt.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I go for.
Okay.
JG's, they have that?
Coffee heath yogurt.
Oh.
All right, Melvin Taylor says you got to go home finally. So go home finally.